About Fire Emblem Engage, and yeah, it's gonna be a big day. A lot of profiles have recently come out, so I'm kind of just gonna be going over all of those, and I'll release it periodically so it's not overwhelming. But first off are the Brodian retainers, just keeping in line with, using royalty and their retainers. Skunk is visiting for this one. Since I'm going to be filming so many videos at once, I am in a different setting, one where my cat can be more comfortable, because he gets kind of freaked out if I leave him alone for too long. If I'm in there recording and he's not able to be hanging out with me, he starts to get stressed, so that's why he's here. But anyway, first off, we have, instead of doing the profiles we normally got, they kind of just gave us like a character page, but we have Amber. And Amber is a knight from Brodian. So, actually, Amber is a royal knight from Brodia and Diamant's retainer. He's a romanticist who loves the fables and legends of the world and is an endlessly bright and pure person. Endlessly bright and pure almost sounds more in line with the rhte characters that they give us. So for this to be a Brodian character is pretty interesting. It makes him a little unique in that sense among his people. I'm excited to get to know Amber. Design-wise, I mean, he's charming, right? Like, with that smile and the messy hair, it's kind of like a Sylvain or Inigo thing, and that's always a character that's a little bit divisive. But I am a big fan of Sylvain, and Inigo, if he's Crom's son, is a really deep character. So, since that's kind of how my playthrough is, I like him, but that's not necessarily canon, so it's kind of one of those things where, like, I like a version of Inigo. But anyway, Amber walks the line with those characters, where he could be great, he could be a little bit much for me. And that's all assuming from the design. The last part, bright and pure. The last part, endlessly bright and pure person. I think, what if he makes the Ash type, like, just a good guy, a well-intended person, with that more player Inigo type? It's kind of an interesting combination because they're not mutually exclusive. Even Inigo is trying to cheer up his friends and he cares about his friends. So it's an interesting middle ground, I think, that they could walk. So we'll see if that happens. But moving on, we have Jade. Jade is Diamant's other retainer, so that's why I put them together. But Jade is a royal knight from Brodia and Diamant's retainer. Always calm and collected and serious about her duties. Because she doesn't speak much, people think she's emotionless. But in truth, she can be surprisingly cheerful and funny. This is a character that I think is going to be a lot of fun if they play her right. Someone who comes off as emotionless, but isn't. I mean, I just think it's a little bit rare, and that's a good thing, right? Like, to try something new like this. So I think it's kind of rare. The stern that's actually like a heart of gold is one thing, but stern but actually really friendly is a different thing, you know? So it's exciting, I think. I'm interested in seeing where she goes. Design-wise, she's got the armor of a typical knight, which it shouldn't be such a big deal, but it is really cool because Fire Emblem does not have many women in armor, and when they are in armor, there's always something exposed, but just kidding. But really, there is always something exposed, and Jade looks like the very rare just woman in armor, and she's an armored class. I don't know if it's general or knight yet at this point, but, some sort of armored class. Down the list is Lapis, and Lapis is a royal knight from Brodia and Alchrist's retainer. She has a good-natured and kind personality. Despite her delicate appearance, she can exhibit unearthly strength. Her talent is knowing what kinds of grass are edible. The unearthly strength thing, I feel like, is going to be very similar. The unearthly strength, I feel, is going to be similar to 80, but I could really see 80's thing being like, no, she works on her body. She sculpts her body. It's not necessarily the same thing as, say, physically working out your strength. Whereas this is a character who is physically working out her strength. So it's different. Her talent knowing what kind of grass is edible. That's cool. I mean, it's a good talent to have, especially for somebody in this world or in this field. Right? Like, you're going to be traveling together, you might kind of just want this. Design-wise, the good nature really shows with like the pink hair and the soft face. She reminds me of Sakura, but like aged up, and her hair is pink instead of reddish. But and then the dark red armor is really cool. I really like that armor coloring. So I hope she's a cool character. She seems like she could be, and she's got really cool armor. Citrine. We've seen Citrine before. She's the character that showed us that outfits are in the game. And actually, we got Alchrist's name from that bio way back during the first trailer, before we even knew who Alchrist was. But Citrine is a royal knight from Brodian. She is Alchrist's retainer. But also cousins with the two royals. Can appear haughty, but is kind-hearted and values her friends. Really excited about that. The cousins thing, because, yeah, some castles, it's really just the royal, like the king's children, or the conqueror's children. So this is his brother or sister's child. Maybe his wife's brother or sister's child, actually. But either way, very close to the royal family, without being royal herself. And where does that leave you, right, in this kind of a world? Sometimes you're lost. But best of luck to her, I guess. Design-wise, looks like a mage. Functions like a mage. I mean, the big cuffs with the diamonds on them. Anyway, those are kind of my thoughts there so far. I think these characters look cool. They're a cool batch of retainers. Personality-wise, I'm a little more excited for the Firene ones, but the armor on these characters looks pretty cool, so I'm excited to meet these characters, but that's all I got for you on this one. I'll be jumping over pretty soon. Thank you.